I'd like to talk about fixing mental health and what I mean by that. But before we delve into that, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Ghazala at the Heart and Soul Cafe. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're here for the first time, then you're very, very welcome. So fixing mental health. It's something that people enjoy thinking about or think that they can do that for somebody else, fix their mental health. And what kind of things do people say? People say, especially to men, let's talk about that first of all. What do we hear? To men, man up, stop crying like a sissy, big girl's blouse, soldier on, man up, if I haven't already said that one. And generally about mental health, just put a smile on your face. Everything will be okay. You'll see, everything will be okay tomorrow. There's people worse off than you, you're just oversensitive, you need to, get a grip, pull yourself together. All those things that we hear add to the stigma around mental health. Yeah. So we've got it all wrong. We say the wrong things, and then we expect people to come forward and talk about the mental health. And when they do, we say things such as, you need to just get over it. You need to just, there's people worse off than you, so you should just be grateful. And what have you got to be upset about? What have you got to be sad about? Isn't your life perfect? And we hear all these things. So mental health isn't something that can just be fixed. Sometimes it's, we've heard about genetically, it might be something genetic. It may be that, you have a lack of serotonin, which is the happy hormone in your body. Is it that? And if it is, then it may be medication, maybe SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, more commonly known as, antidepressants, may help. And then there's other things that we can put into place. First of all, we need to acknowledge that it is that we are struggling mentally, because sometimes we can just be in denial. Oh, you might think, well, this is normal because I always feel like this. If you experience symptoms of anxiety, that your heart is racing, it might be that you are so used to your heart racing that's you feel that is how it should be, and that's normal. And isn't everyone else's heart racing like that? And that might be what you're thinking and feeling, because you're so used to it. And feeling low, it might be something that we get so used to feeling that way. When we wake up in the morning, we've got that sinking feeling, or we've got that feeling of dread, or we've got feeling so down and low that we find it hard to get up and out of bed. Perhaps that's how it is. You don't want to interact with others. You don't want to socialize. You don't see the point in getting showered and dressed and out the door. All these things. You don't want to think about, what your next meal is going to look like. You just, eating anything and everything, and that's not going to have a positive effect on your body either. You're not thinking about your sleep, whether you're getting good quality sleep or an amount, the right amount of hours that you need to sleep and feel rested when you wake up. So there's all those things. So when I talk about fixing mental health, what I'm actually saying is acknowledge what it is that you have, first of all. Put things into place that will possibly help you. Things like making sure that you are getting plenty of exercise. And you might think, oh, here we go again. But it is really those simple things that we need to put back into place that we've maybe lost. We're just in our cars too much. When maybe we could have walked. We are on our devices far too much, where we could have, embraced a book perhaps, and that might be nice. Or just having a conversation with another human being, that might be a good thing. We've got AI everywhere. Even when we we make a phone call to an office and we get a machine that speaks back to us. And I think we're going to get more and more of that. And quite sad. You might go to a supermarket to do some shopping and you don't actually talk to any single person because you've gone through the self-checkout and got your things and come home again. And you haven't actually had a word, not a word, with another single human being. It might be that you're living on your own, and that going out to the shop to get some, groceries was a way of you maybe having a conversation. And back in the day, you'd have little community, sort of corner shops where people would go in, and people would always have time to talk to you and say, oh, how are you and how's your day, and have a little chat and buy a few, necessities that you need. And then you come home and you feel refreshed by having that little conversation. But we're losing that, aren't we? We're losing that with the way society is changing and evolving. We are losing that because we've got so much more, with AI, that we're losing that connection with other human beings. So we need to acknowledge what it is that we are feeling, and if we need medical support, then we need to reach out for that. Or it might be talking therapy. It might be just talking to a friend. So are we getting enough exercise? Are we getting enough fresh air? Are we marking times in our diary where we've got me time, that we are actually doing something for me, which isn't, oh, that's work related or it's anything else. It's for your own well-being and mental health. Okay, so am I doing that? Am I eating as best as I possibly can with the time I have, with the budget I have, all those things? Am I doing the best? Am I so, you could sort of think about, well, I've already sort of stated that, me time. Me time can be doing things that sort of feed your soul, whether it's, it might be something simple as connecting with a friend and going for a coffee. It might be, and again, I would just want to state if you experience symptoms of anxiety and you've got, sort of fast sort of heartbeat, maybe refraining from caffeine might be a good thing as well. So I don't know if I've shared that before, but for some people who experience anxiety and the symptoms of anxiety, if they take quite a lot of caffeine in their diet, so coffee, tea, energy drinks that can be quite high in caffeine, that might exacerbate the symptoms of anxiety that they're already experiencing. So yeah, let's be careful about that. So putting other things in place, anything and everything that you feel that would mean that you are leading a healthy lifestyle, first of all, will help. I see the human being as a jigsaw puzzle, okay, made of lots and lots of little pieces. Lots of little pieces have gone in, which all these pieces that go in are all a part of your life. So when you experience something new, a new piece goes in. I have quite a large bereavement piece in my jigsaw puzzle, but that one piece, no one piece defines who you are. It's just one aspect of you. It's just one piece of you that makes the whole of you. And it's acknowledging that. It's acknowledging that you have all these pieces that make you the person you are. All those pieces define you, not one particular piece. So you are not just that, that's that woman who lost her son, or that's that woman who's, in a wheelchair. Whatever that is, it's everything else that you are. We are so many things. We are so multifaceted. So there's so much to us than even meets the eye. So it's to acknowledge that struggle, if you like, if you want to call it a struggle, is a part of you, is just one part of you. It's not the whole of you. And I think when we acknowledge that we are carrying something and we educate ourselves around that, what it is that we're carrying, I feel that we can then own it. Yeah. And once we own it, I think we are then in a better place to make peace with it. When we've made peace with it, we are then able to carry it and be in control. So we're not allowing that to overwhelm us. We are carrying it in our breast pocket, if you like, and walking through life, functioning through life with it, not allowing that thing, whatever it is, to control and rule our life. And that is a decision we need to make at some point as well. And I made that decision. I talked about it in a video called The Fork in the Road. I made a decision about what I was going to do with my life after losing my son. That was a choice. And then I thought about, well, how am I going to get there? Okay. A client of mine actually shared something last week, and I was so pleased that she said that. She said, Ghazala, I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, but I don't want to feel like this forever. I want to feel better. And I said, I'm so glad that you shared that, because that shows that, okay, you might not be there yet, and that's okay. And there's no time thing. No one's got their stopwatch on and they're timing you. Hopefully no one's doing that. No one's pressurizing you. But for you to say it out loud and say, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling really bad, but this isn't how I want to feel forever. This isn't how I want to go on, feeling forever. I want to get to a better place where I'm functioning and living my life and doing the things I need to do and want to do, with. And yeah, it was a brilliant moment, actually. And you don't always get that. You don't always get that. So yeah, to say where you want to be without feeling guilty. That doesn't mean to say you are going to forget, the person that you've lost. That doesn't mean that at all. It means that you are willing to carry on and carry that loss with you. You're never going to forget them. You're never going to leave them behind. You're never going to move on from. You're going to move forward with them. Yeah. And yeah, just so wonderful. Such a wonderful moment when my client shared that. And it was a wonderful moment when I decided that that's what I was going to do. I was going to do something positive with my life out of something so negative, something so awful that's happened in my life. But I'm not going to allow it to destroy me to the extent where I don't, because I wanted to do things to help others in my son's name, to leave a legacy, because that was the best possible outcome I could have, or I might have, or I hopefully will have after losing my son. And the worst possible outcome would have been to have allowed it to consume me, to have allowed it to end my life too. I hope that makes sense. And I hope you got something from that. Please do like, subscribe, please do share, please do comment. I look forward to those comments, and what do you think about mental health, and how do you think about when we talk about fixing mental health, what does it mean to you? I look forward to getting those comments. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, please look after your hearts and souls. Thank you.